my medical journey with cannabis starts with my health, truly and honestly. I have been medicating with cannabis since I was 12 years old. My parents, they figured out, hey, this is actually helping her health. I have lupus and I didn't know at the time. And so as long as I had straight A's, I was good to go. So with that, I decided, well, how can I turn this into a career? Well, I didn't know until I was 18 years old that I could, because I moved from Ohio to Colorado and stumbled accidentally on Craigslist into a reception job that happened to be at a dispensary. They no longer exist. Moral of the story, that dispensary has a huge news following, because they used to blindfold their trimmers and take them to their grow. So I was a part of that entire operation to stop that and advocate for those trimmers to not have to deal with that. Unbeknownst to me, my business partner who you met last week happened to be one of those trimmers while I was in the front working. We did not work together. We did not know each other. Years later, we found each other. So in between all of that, I hopped around to multiple dispensaries, kind of making a name for myself, because what I would do is create CBD diets, I would like to call, from our patients. And at the time, this was in 2008. So this is the prehistoric pre-rec days, right? This is medical only, the wild, wild west, as we like to call it. And I was just a little old me with my tiny little dreadlocks at the time. I became a general manager of a dispensary, which still exists, and I owe most of my gratitude to. The owners took very, very good care of me, and that is where I started my serious journey of connecting with patients. I also helped transform the dispensary from medical to recreational, never losing the medical touch. Tons of my patients that I still am friends with, still talk to, that have tons to say about when I worked there and how I was able to help them through their journey. Lupus pretty much took hold of my body. I was 18 years old when I started in the industry. And at this time I was 21 and I had a stroke. I had no clue why. And what saved me and put me into a wheelchair ultimately. I still worked, 18-hour days at the dispensary, never leaving my patients. It was just too hard to do. But what saved me was the CBD, pure THC, and I also became a vegan and gave up meat for the time. I do eat meat now, but for that time I did need to cleanse my body. I wasn't sure what was going on. So I cleansed, I used CBD, and I also found myself a few naturalists because none of the doctors here were willing to even see me, knowing that I used cannabis and that my career was in cannabis. So with that being said, my health ultimately took over. And I decided to leave the dispensary. It was too much work. While I was working with the patients, I really did try my hardest to, consult with nurses, consult with doctors. And there were, a few that would secretly talk to you. But back in 2008 to 2010, I mean, those were very scary days. So totally understood why they could not. Fast forward to now. I am totally in remission, and I do blame all of that on THC. I use heavy THC dosages on a daily basis, and I am now married, where my wife is a disabled vet and also suffers from Sjogren's and lupus. So she's also on a very heavy CBD diet as well. So we both are able to, have somewhat of a normal life because of cannabis. So I preach this to my patients. I preach this, well, I'm sorry, I can't legally call them patients anymore. I preach this to our community and even to our business clients. It really has become a part of my formula that you are family when we work with you. That's just how it is. So deeper in that, I learn about your family, and there's always someone who's sick. There's always someone who needs a little bit of CBD diet in their life, THC diet. And so I do that on the side for free, for fun. Because of technology, I think it's going to be up to all of the good-willed people to keep it strict and disciplined, because otherwise I do foresee it kind of becoming wild again. Instead of the wild, wild west, I kind of see it becoming the Matrix times 10. And I'm a little nervous benefits. I do foresee a lot of health beneficial factors that are going to happen. And I'm very excited for that. My mother being one of them, she is now using cannabis. It's helping her, the battery she has implanted in her back.
As a nurse who's trying to educate people on the endocannabinoid system, there are nurses that are doing it, but I'm also bringing in the yoga Ayurveda perspective with meditation and asana. And so I'm going to these events that are like, let's get high and do yoga, but really these people don't really know what I'm doing. I'm going in there while they want to, you know, get high during a meditation. And like I said earlier, it's a pathway to wellness, because eventually I think it's really important for these people to learn, like, yes, this is your experience right now with cannabis in this meditation, but everything we're talking about in this meditation, you can take out and use in life, even if you're not, you know, high. I'm really navigating a few different worlds in the yoga community. Like I'm teaching from a traditional Indian yoga perspective. And so the yoga community, that yoga community is often very anti-cannabis. My mentor, my yoga mentor told me she thinks I'm swimming upstream, but this is just what I feel like I have to do.
I have your perfect answer. This is the answer. First and foremost, you flow with the water. You never go upstream. Secondly, from that, think of egos, right? I've tried to let go of my ego years and years and years, right? Think of two egos. You have your brand that's trying to bring you money, but you have yourself, each one of you. You need to also use yourself and build that as a brand as well, because on each side, you'll be able to educate with one, entertain with the other. And both of these will become lead gen for you. And all of that will also bring the right targeted market into you, so you don't have to redirect and re-educate. And so instead of that, now you're going to reattract that new demographic by building yourself.
Thank you so much. It's inspiring to hear you.
If you find these conversations empowering, then you may want to join us in the Highline Tribe. We are a community of nurses and healers who are seeking alignment. Try the tribe today for a step towards a transformative journey towards wellness and knowledge. See you on the inside.